Good day, dear students. This is Bugibaeva Zhanna Bugibaevna from Kazakh University of Technology and Business. Welcome to my class. Today we'll talk about second conditional. So if you are ready, let's get started. Second conditional. We still talk about the future events with second conditional. The difference is that this time we talk about events that is impossible to happen. With the first conditional, we talk about events that were possible to happen. Like the first conditional, second conditional has two clauses. We have if clause and result clause, which is main clause. If you can still remember, with the first conditional, we use present simple in the if clause. With second conditional, we follow the pattern if plus verb in simple past. In the result clause in the second conditional, it should be would verb in the base form. For example, if I were rich, I would travel around the world. The current situation of the speaker is far from being rich, so this is not possible. The if clause here is, if I were rich, we follow the pattern if plus past simple. The result clause is, I would travel around the world. And we follow the pattern would plus base form, travel. If the if clause comes first in the sentence, put a comma after it. If it comes at the end, then a comma is not necessary. For example, if I were rich, I would travel around the world. If you notice the if clause, if it's in the first sentence, there is a comma here. I would travel around the world if I were rich. This time, the if clause, I were rich, is at the end of the sentence. That is why we didn't put a comma. Another example, if I were you, I would buy a car. The if clause is here, if I were you. The main clause is, I would buy a car. If she were a boy, she would be a carpenter. If clause is, if she were a boy, she would be a carpenter. It's a main clause. Notice that we use were even though the subject is singular. For example, if I were you, I would buy a car. If she were a boy, she would be a carpenter. So why do you think so? Well, this is because were can be used for all persons in the if clause. We can say, if he were, if I were, or if she were. Another example, if I had a younger sister, I would love her so much. If clause here is, if I had a younger sister, I would love her so much. It is the result clause. If I had enough money, I would study in a culinary school. If I had enough money, it's a if clause. So for our exercise, correct the given sentence and make the second conditional sentences. The first one, if I will have a son, he will be the most important person in my life. So the correct answer is, if I had a son, he would be the most important person in my life. If you notice, if clause is in the future simple, we need to change it into simple past, if I had a son. The result clause used well as its auxiliary verb, but this is second conditional, so we need to use would. He would be the most important person in my life. The second one, if mom attends my graduation, I will be the happiest girl in the world. The correct answer is, if mom attended my graduation, I would be the happiest girl in the world. If clause, if mom attended my graduation was in the present simple, and we changed it into the past simple. And the result clause also, we put here would instead of will, because here is the second conditional. Another example, if I am in your shoes, I won't do that. Correct answer is, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't do that. So we changed it into second conditional. Next example. If I was living in Paris, I haven't got tired of visiting the Eiffel Tower. The correct answer is, if I lived in Paris, I wouldn't get tired of visiting the Eiffel Tower. If clause was in the past continuous, we need to change it into a simple past, if I lived in Paris. The result clause, I haven't got tired of visiting the Eiffel Tower, isn't the present perfect. We need to change it into the pattern would, lost the verb, and the base form. Yeah, I wouldn't get tired of visiting the Eiffel Tower. And the last one, if she saw Tom Cruise, she would get his autograph. The correct answer is, if she saw Tom Cruise, she would get his autograph. If clause, if she saw Tom Cruise, it was in the past simple, so it is corrected, it is in the past simple, and the result clause is, she would get his autograph. There is no need to change it, yeah? I think you have understood this one. So if you have any questions, and please write me. And other practice and other exercises will be done in your online course. So thank you for your attention. See you next week.